great to welcome you to another episode of Marking the Times. I'm Dr. Mark Hitchcock, and I'm here in my office at Faith Bible Church in Edmond, Oklahoma. It's been really cold here. Hopefully it's not this cold where you're watching this, but March is here, and so it's going to be warming up soon, and hopefully we'll all have some beautiful weather to enjoy in the days ahead. I've been answering some questions you've sent in. You can send in questions to Facebook, our Facebook page. Love to answer those and also bring some updates. There are a lot of things going on in the world today, but I got a question here a couple weeks ago that I want to answer. It's a good question about the Antichrist. And here's what the reader or the listener asked. It says, I have a question I can't get an answer to, and I know it can't be definitive. In Revelation 6, we see the appearance of the Four Horsemen. Now, one of the four is the white horse rider. That would, of course, be the first one. Most teachers I have heard believe this is the first appearance of the Antichrist. If so, why is he just one of the four? And why is not the beast mentioned or revealed until Revelation 13? I do not doubt this is a product of Antichrist. The Muslim people believe their Mahdi will appear riding a white horse. Could this represent the great conflict that Israel will have with that people? It's a good question here for us. In Revelation 6, what we have is the beginning of Jesus taking the seven seals off of that scroll. And I believe that scroll is the inheritance. The only document in that day sealed with seven seals was a will. So Jesus is taking the inheritance from the Father. And when that scroll is opened, he'll receive the inheritance, that which is the kingdoms of this world, and he will rule and he'll reign. But these seals have to be opened first, and seven seals are opened. The first four of them are often called the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. You have a rider on a white horse, a rider on a red horse, a rider on a black horse, then a rider on this pale horse, this pale rider. And there's been a lot of controversy over the years about the rider on the white horse. The other three are fairly self-explanatory, but the rider on the white horse, some believe that this is actually Jesus himself, because later in Revelation 19, Jesus comes out of heaven on a white horse. The problem with that is these seal judgments are being opened by Jesus, and it would be strange for Jesus to be the one opening the seals and to be one of the seals. Also, all the other seals are seals of judgment. The coming of Jesus there doesn't seem to fit with that so much. The other thing is, some people say it's the proclamation of the gospel, the preaching of the gospel. But again, all these other seals are judgments. That really wouldn't fit in with the character of them. So I do believe that the rider on the white horse is the Antichrist, but I think it's more than that. I want to mention something. I won't have time to go into this in detail, but you can look this up and read this on your own. I believe that Matthew 24 and Revelation 6 are parallel. Matthew 24 was the Olivet Discourse Jesus gave a couple of days before he died on the cross. And in the Olivet Discourse, it's often called the mini apocalypse. You basically have a parallel to what you have in the seals. The first seal is a rider on a white horse. And notice what Jesus said. Right at the beginning, he says in Matthew 24, verse 4, see to it that no one misleads you, for many will come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and will mislead many. That's the rider on the white horse. Then the rider on the red horse is war. Jesus said, you'll be hearing of wars and rumors of wars. See to it you're not frightened, for those things must take place. Nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. Then he mentions famines, which is the rider on the black horse, and so on. So the rider on the white horse, if we see the parallel between Matthew 24 and Revelation 6, Jesus said, many will come in my name saying, I am the Christ, and will mislead many. So actually the rider on the white horse here is a movement or a wave of false messiahs who will begin to appear in the end times. That out of that group or kind of a wave of false Christs or false messiahs, one man will rise to the fore, then who will be the Antichrist. So it's correct to say in one way that the rider on the white horse is the Antichrist, but really it's more than that. It's a movement of false messiahs. And you can imagine after the rapture takes place and all the chaos that will ensue in the world's going to be looking for some leader, some man with a plan, some messiah. And so a whole wave of these messiahs will kind of come forth. But then one man, I think, will rise to the top among them that we know as the Antichrist, who's introduced as the beast, actually the first time in Revelation 11, and then we have a lot more detail about him in Revelation chapter 13, verses 1 through 10. But I would parallel Revelation 6 here, verses 1 and 2, the rider on the white horse, with Daniel 9:27, where it says, and he, that is this prince who is to come, this Antichrist figure, will make a firm covenant with the many in Israel for 7 years. So he'll make a 7-year covenant with Israel that will bring some kind of a temporary peace to the earth. Now we know that because the next rider on the horse is the rider on the red horse, and it says he comes and takes peace from the earth. Well, you can't take peace from the earth unless there was peace to begin with. So the rider on the white horse, it says he goes out conquering and to conquer, but he has a bow, but it doesn't mention any arrows. So I think it's kind of the conquering of bringing nations together kind of peacefully. He goes out and begins to establish himself as a leader. But it's not warfare in the sense we think of it. That's introduced with the rider on the red horse. So I see this rider on this white horse as a wave of false messiahs that will ultimately culminate in this one false messiah. He'll bring a brief time of peace to the earth. 1 Thessalonians 5 says, "For while they are saying peace and safety," that's going to be early in the tribulation period. Then sudden destruction will come upon them suddenly like birth pangs upon a woman, and they will by no means escape. So hope that helps a little bit with the rider on the white horse. Again, go back and read Matthew 24 and the parallels there in these passages. I think it'll help you with that. God bless you, and thank you for watching. We'll see you again next time.